Hey everybody, we're coming up on the end of March. I have several memories of operational incidents in March for sure. But from a lessons learned standpoint, I want to draw our attention back to 2018. We had a series of serial bombings in Texas, in particular in Austin. There were two people killed and several people injured as a result of some bombs that were sort of placed at residences, and actually one went off at a FedEx facility, I believe. But it brings me to a training opportunity, right? So assessing mail packages, anything that might show up on your porch, your private residence, or in the commercial environment, right, at your business or your school or your church. Whether you know it or not, you do assessments. Every time you pick up a package, you're probably hoping, I'm just hoping this is not a bill or something else that I don't really want to open. But as soon as you pick that package up, your assessment starts, right? So you're looking at the package in totality. So some circumstances that may raise the level of your assessment could be a termination that you had, or it could be a dispute you had with a neighbor, or something like that. So if you assess a package to be suspicious and then you couple that with circumstances that are going on in your personal private life, then then you could have your hands full, sure. So let's take this package as an example. One thing to look out for is redundant and excessive postage stamps, right? And why is that important? Because subjects don't want their package that is targeted to be delayed or analyzed any deeper than it needs to be. So they'll put a lot of postage on there in hopes that it just goes right through the system without question. The other thing is, and I've had this actually in cases where they will type out addresses or type out messages and they will tape it on the box, and they're trying to avoid handwriting analysis, right? So that's something to look out for. And then general names. This one's to the operations manager. You know, maybe they want to get this into a control room or control center, and they don't want to put a name on there. Maybe that person's transferred, but they just want to get it into a certain environment, right? So that's something you think about. And then messages like handle with care, right? So certainly if there's a volatile substance in here in this package, they don't want it tossed around and have it go off prematurely. You're going to look for swelling or uneven, unbalanced packaging. You're also going to look for liquid leaks or even granular leaks. If you have any of that stuff going on, clearly you want to consider this a suspicious package. And lastly, the obvious is wires, right? So you know, a subject is generally not going to arm this package and then stick it in the mailbox, right? They may even wait till it gets it to its last destination, and then they're going to arm it, and then they're going to force upon the tape and seal it. And just because of the rigidity of wires, maybe those wires will poke out. Again, you folks, every time you get a package, you're doing an analysis. You don't even know it, but I want to highlight some of these things for you just as a general knowledge. And one of these indicators in itself may not be a threshold for you to contact law enforcement, but now you yelled at a neighbor for a teenager for speeding up the street while your kids were playing outside, and you got into a verbal dispute. And the next day, suddenly you have a package outside, and you look at your ring, and it's this person delivering that package before you even touched it, right? That's a law enforcement issue. And in any of these cases, whether you're in a church, school, business, or at your house, I'm not asking you to circumvent anything. And certainly if it hits a threshold, call law enforcement, get them involved. I don't want you to think you're a bomb tech or hazardous team, right? So your assessment and personal decisions are with you. You do your assessment, and when you get to your threshold where you think this is suspicious based on what's going on in your world and this package, call law enforcement right away. You know, they don't only come in boxes. There's devices that come in envelopes. I always make it a practice, is something for you to consider. You know, maybe it's overkill, but anytime I get an envelope or a package, I generally will always open it at the opposite location of where it was sealed, because this could be the trigger mechanism. And generally I keep a ceramic blade close by when I open my mail. And as an example, instead of opening it where it was sealed, I will take the blade and I will cut it at the top and I'll open it from there. And I just make that best practices. If at any time you determine, based on what's going on in your life, in your private or professional life, that you have a package that deems to be suspicious, first thing you should do is isolate it. Get away from it. Don't smell it. Don't taste what's coming out of it. Get away from it. Don't move it. Leave it where it is. Obviously, if you had it in your hands, try and place it in an area that's balanced so it doesn't fall off a table or anything. But isolate it. Get out, lock the door, and get away from it. And then call authorities. Take everybody out with you. It might be a situation if it's a granular substance. We had the ricin scares. That's a big deal. You're going to have to be isolated yourself. So that's a whole other story. But in any case, call authorities, get them on scene. Something else to be aware of is flashlights, as an example. If somebody has explosive knowledge and they really want you, they're going to get you. I've been killed. I have 9 lives. I've been killed dozens and dozens of times in training environments through different schools. But this flashlight's a real deal. So back in 2012, an example, in Arizona, they had, I think it was 3 detonations where subjects were putting explosives in these flashlights, and they were placing them out in the public. And somebody would come up and find this flashlight. Hey, that's a nice flashlight. And the first thing they do when they grab it is they turn it on. That switch ignited these explosives. So, if you're a police officer somewhere and you're in a residence handling a call and you come outside and you're a heavy drug area, as an example, and all of a sudden you find a mag light that's sitting outside of your car and you know it's not yours, but it looks like a nice mag light, don't pick it up and turn it on, okay? Same thing for technicians, as an example. If you do HVAC work somewhere and you're going in these strange houses all the time and you don't have a flashlight and you're in a dark area in a corner of the basement, but there's a flashlight setting somewhere, don't use it. Use your own equipment. Never pick up anything that is not yours or that looks suspicious because it'd be a bad day for you. So the other thing, chem sticks. I carry these in my response bag. I carry them in my vehicle. I keep them in my office. They can be useful, and it's just another small way to help responders. So I've had some suspicious devices over the years, and generally speaking, if safe to do so, and I have these close by, once it's isolated and the door's shut, I'll pop it, stick it outside the door, and then you leave a trail for the responders. So when you get outside, whether it's your residence or a commercial building or a school, you can describe to responders, say, hey, you're going to go to the 2nd floor, and once you get there, you're going to see a trail of chem sticks leading up to the door where the box or the suspicious package has been isolated. And that's just a small way to help responders because they're going to have a lot on their mind and they're going to have different equipment on that makes their job a little tougher. Just a small thing on chem lights. They're a couple dollars. You can throw a couple in your response bag. That's about all I have. You do assessments now. Just pay attention. If you have any red flags, pay attention to what's going on. Once it meets a threshold where you think you need a professional involved, please call 911 and get them involved. And they'll direct you from there on next steps. So I'm not training anybody to be a bomb tech for sure. So do me a favor and visit us on our website, www.peacewarhavoc.com. Follow us on YouTube and our Facebook page, and on YouTube hit notifications so you can see some of our videos. And by all means, always pursue peace, but you need to be prepared to deliver righteous havoc if needed. I hope everybody has a great day and stay safe out there.